What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back with another video. And you know I couldn't wait long on this one. Oh no, I could not wait long on this one. I just got back my order from CAS, as you saw in my unboxing video. And I had to get this Heartwrencher out of the poly bag. And there's a lot of glare. We got more rain again today, believe it or not. It's been raining nonstop here in Tennessee, in the US of A. The greatest country in the world. That's right, I said it. Just kidding. We are a good country, but I don't know if we're the best, but we're pretty darn good. But I wanted to go ahead and take a look at this this figure and vehicle. I don't really have hardly any vehicles that are graded in my collection. I've got the Black Series Stealth Speeder. That was a Comic-Con exclusive. That was one of my very, very early videos where I was awkward and nervous and kind of nerdy. I mean, I'm still nervous and I'm still nerdy, but at least I'm loud and obnoxious now. Before I was really quiet. So that was a Star Wars STCC exclusive. Biker Scout, that was a 3 3/4 inch vehicle. It's early on my channel. You're welcome to look that up. I also have a Black Series San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Land Speeder with Luke Skywalker in his Farm Boy outfit. That's also a 6-inch version. I have not shown that yet. But those are the only two. I'm looking around my collection room now. Those are the only two vehicles that I had graded. But this is my third one. And it's pretty epic. This is the 2018 figure subscription service Heartwrencher, Dreadnok Heartwrencher. She's the mechanic for the Dreadnoks, which is kind of a band of misfits that Cobra hired as mercenaries in a lot of different adventures, both in the cartoon and in the comic. And they released this figure along with the Dreadnok Ground Assault Vehicle. This is a re-release of the original Ground Assault Vehicle that I believe came out as a Sears store exclusive, department store exclusive. That came out, I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe it came out in 1985. So they re-released it here, and it's an awesome vehicle. Very similar color patterns and designs with a couple of nice updates to it. But I mean, it might even be the same mold, to be honest with you. I mean, the more I look at it, it might be the exact same mold, just with some slightly different color changes. But either way, it's a pretty awesome vehicle. You know, the original version of this Jeep or assault vehicle was the Stinger. That one, I believe, came out in 1984 or 1983. It had a black and gray color scheme, but it had the same missile rack on the back, same wing doors that opened up. But anyway, you know, the figure subscription service offered this one, and I believe it was only about $65 or $70 originally, and it was snapped up immediately. I mean, it was gone in like an hour. And I bought mine on the secondary market for about $80 or $90. It might have been a little bit more. I can't remember. It's been so long. But, you know, I had it sitting in a poly bag. It came in like a really, you know, thick poly bag. And I just had it sitting in a box, and I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? And then I found out about Collector's Archive Services very shortly thereafter. And, you know, just to give you a little background on how awesome CAS is, I reached out to the COO of the company because I didn't know who else to contact. His name is Ken. You can find him on the website. And I reached out to him and said, hey, do you guys grade vehicles? And he said, man, we can grade anything. As long as they're complete, we'll grade it. And so I was like, cool. So I sent it in. Along with the 3 other figures you saw in my unboxing video, because I wanted to test them out. And I had no idea what CAS was about. You know, since then, they've obviously grown leaps and bounds. I see CAS-graded figures and mint figures on Mint on Card figures all the time on eBay. Mainly Star Wars, but, you know, other product lines as well. And I wanted to test them out. I wanted to see what kind of job they did. For informational purposes, the cost to get this graded was $130. So it's not cheap. But they had never graded anything like it before. They custom designed it from the ground up for me, and they did an absolutely phenomenal job. I think for my CAS orders from now on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the statement of archival first. So it'll show you the grade and all the, you know, the information that is on the actual label, especially for these larger items, because you know, tilting it back and forth, I'm a little bit afraid about messing this up. I'm just that nerdy. But let's take a look at the statement of archival first. So, custom 2018 Hasbro G.I. Joe FSS Club exclusive Dreadnok Ground Assault 4-wheel drive with Heartwrencher. It was archived September 10th of this year. case type museum. So that's the museum quality. It's the higher end acrylic cases that they do. That's 100% UV protection, or 99.9%. This came out in 2018. It's manufactured by Hasbro. The series is obviously G.I. Joe. Custom display. The hologram number is listed there. The grade is there. It's a 90. Real grade is 91.4. No subgrades. And you can see the embossment here with the raised embossment, along with the hologram with the hologram number, along with a picture of the item. Date sign. You know, that date is not when it was graded. It was when it was sent off. And so they sign it for you. And they have a disclaimer at the bottom along with their website. So the cool thing is, as I mentioned in my unboxing video, if you got this figure complete, whether it's sealed or unsealed, and you're like, dang, I wish I had that case, well, guess what? You can. You know, if you go to the CAS's website and type in Heartwrencher under the search function, it'll pop right up, and it's $130. And all you got to do is send it in, and they'll grade it just like this, exact same measurements, exact same case, everything. So that's what's so cool about CAS. You know, as more and more people come up with really cool custom designs for grading and casing and preserving, you know, it gives people ideas. You know, it gave me an idea just looking at some of the other vehicles that they graded. And I was like, you know, I'm going to reach out to them and see if they'll do it. So here it is. So it's pretty amazing. It's very, you know, larger than the average item that I've shown you. But I'm going to try and go through all the details on it. You can see here it's got a J hook to hold the vehicle in place on the front and the back. You can see in the back there's a file card. I'm not going to read through it, just given the size of it. Here's the figure case. The figure case or, you know, holder is really incredible. It's got a clear background on it to hold her in place because, you know, these are not like Kenner figures that are very rigid. You know, they have movement in all the joints, and so it's a little bit tougher to keep her in place, especially next to the vehicle. They put a J-hook style anchor to hold the file card in place and to hold her on the file card. There are rivets or, you know, holders in place around her knees and then around her shoulders, but it just looks awesome. It holds her in place. I don't have to worry about her moving. Heartwrencher as a figure is incredible. I love the kind of overalls that are hanging down loose. She's got some shoulder pads there, and you know, just a really nice figure. The other cool part is you can see at the bottom here, I'm trying to get it to focus. There he goes. The accessories for her are like a wrist-mounted crossbow, a pistol, and then a wrench. And they case those in like a raised clear platform. I mean, it just looks so cool. And I'm going to try and move it here so you can see the back of the vehicle. Here's the back of the vehicle. You can see the logo there on the side of the Jeep with the Cobra along with a sword. And you got the missile rack on the back there along with kind of a bumper slash holder there. This kind of neon green color there. And then two more J-hooks to hold the vehicle in place. And then you can see, I'm going to try and put this down for a second. You can see here the missiles. I'm going to move it just a little closer so you can see that all those missiles are individually mounted to another clear case. And then there is her file card. So I'm going to do one rotation around so you can kind of see how she's mounted. But it just looks awesome. I mean, it just definitely one of my, you know, this is not an old figure. Obviously it came out this year. So to go to this level of grading for something like this is probably overkill. But on the resale market now, this figure, you know, sealed in the bag with the ground assault vehicle goes for, you know, I'd say minimum $250. You know, you might get lucky on a auction format and get it for, you know, in the 200s, but it's going to be in the low 200s. I haven't seen them sell for less than that lately. But, you know, anywhere from 250 to 300 is probably about market right now for one of these. So they've gone up about 3 or 4 or 5 times from what they were available for on the website. So it's just crazy. And so, you know, to have it sitting in a poly bag in a box is just such a waste to me. And I said, you know what, let's do it. Let's go ahead and spend the money. And now I've got a real nice showpiece for my G.I. Joe section of my collection room. I mean, this is an absolute showpiece, and I love it. And you know, it's just so cool to look at. the other figure, which I've already covered, that was released this year, his name was Chaos. He kind of has like shoulder pads with spikes on them and all kinds of weird stuff. He's got a Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th mask. And I've already covered the grading for that one. That's a mint on card figure that I have. I believe I got a 9.0 on it. So you can look at that one in my channel. But anyway, Chaos and Heartwrencher ride together in this ground assault vehicle, according to, you know, the file cards. And so she drives. Chaos is the, he rides shotgun, literally probably, since he's a little bit crazy. Oh, one other thing I wanted to point out is on the front of the vehicle, just like the vintage one, it does have an assault, you know, AK-47 style assault weapon mounted to the front. And so that's why I'm a little bit hesitant to kind of jump it around, because if that pops out, that would really annoy me. So, but you can see some of the other decals and things like that on there, and the headlights. It's got kind of a winch on the front by the green bumper. Very cool, though. The doors do, as I mentioned, the doors do open up like a wing, you know, like a Lamborghini or a DeLorean. So, you know, this is, again, a remake of the original Cobra Stinger vehicle. But, you know, just an awesome, awesome piece. I'm so excited to have it. It got a 90, you know, near mint score. So, you know, for a modern figure, that's about, you know, that's a good score for me. I'm happy with that. But I had to take it out of the poly bag and show you guys this thing in more detail, because it's I'm sorry again about the glare, but it's just an incredible piece, and I'm happy to have it. So anyway, I'll shut up. I know I'm gushing over this thing, but it's just so cool looking. I can't, you know, there's certain days in my collecting where I have vivid memories of you know, getting them back from grading, or, you know, getting a really cool figure that I've always wanted, things like that. You know, stuff that I never thought I'd have. And, you know, this is certainly not to that level, but, you know, like the Vinyl Cape Jawa, for example. When I got that Vinyl Cape Jawa, that was like next level for me. You know, that I'd never gotten anything like that before. But, you know, in terms of a cool custom case that's really going to catch the eye when people walk in, this is definitely it, man. I mean, this is just a cool piece. So anyway, that's all I got. I'll shut up. Thanks for watching.